Everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Political Vigilante. Look at that graphic pop up there. Isn't it gorgeous? Making Gotham great again. Great way to support the show, folks, is go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood, where you can submit articles like Lauren D'Alessandro has done. She's been supporting the show from early on. Lauren, thank you so much. You get bonus content for as little as $2 a month, and you're supporting everything that I do. You get early access. There's all these different tiers. You get early access to audio, to video, all this cool stuff. The podcast, the live streams that I do. As soon as the live stream is done, I take it off of YouTube and I put it on Patreon at the $10 level. So if you missed any of the live streams, you can watch the whole archive of everything. It's a great way to support the show. And so when you submit articles, it's great because you viewers out there are keeping me informed, which means I'm keeping more of you informed. So Lauren, you are a political vigilante. New survey confirms second wave of U.S. layoffs is well underway. And I've been talking a lot about this, and we've been talking about the 28 million evictions that are looming, but already the layoffs are starting. And I'm going to go into this study. So since July, initial and continuing claims have risen, suggesting the worst employment crisis since the Great Depression of the 1930s continues to unfold. New evidence published Tuesday in a study by Cornell Law School senior fellow and adjunct professional Daniel Alpert reveals the second round of the layoffs is becoming more severe as the fiscal cliff begins. The study, conducted from July 23rd to August 1st by Alpert and RIWI Corp., shows 31% of employees initially laid off or furloughed because of the virus-induced recession were just recently laid off a second time. And I can give you just a personal example. I know some people in the airline industry who were put on furlough, and they kept waiting for that to happen. And they kind of did some work, and then they were furloughed, and then they were laid off. Or furloughed, and then they actually did a little work over the summer, and now they're about ready to get laid off again. It's brutal. Just on a small business level, I've seen this, and I'm sure you have examples in your neighborhood. In Santa Monica, where I live, ZJ's Boarding House is a surf shop. It's my local shop. It's been here for over 30 years. They were obviously shut down in March from the pandemic, the shutdown that we all went through, and they reopened in June, so they didn't make business in March, April, and May. That's like the spring is like everybody's ramping up into the summer. People are buying surfboards, getting ready for the summer. Like they do business year round, but there's way more surfing in the spring and summer, obviously. So this is the start of their busy time of the year if they're shut down. They opened up in June and they were trying to stay afloat. I even went in there when I got my unemployment and bought a couple things to keep them. And they're like, we're staying open. And they had a for rent sign in this little window. And about 3 weeks, a month ago, everyone was coming, are you guys going out of business? They even put a sign up saying we are not closing. 50%, we're just having a big sale. They were just and they weren't getting any new products. They were like trying to just sell their inventory. And then about a week or two ago, they put up a sign saying we are closing, and they went out of business. That's an example of a business that was shut down, tried to stay open, and couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. And that's what this study is showing. And like, I know we have, and I'm sure you got more personal examples. Before we get into those, Ron, I just want to give you a little more stats from this study, but I wanted to give that personal experience and you can share with us. So this is from this Cornell study, right? Data as of August 1st, 2020. Here's the highlights for the study. Of workers who were placed back on payrolls after being initially laid off / furloughed as a result of the COVID-19 crisis, 31% report that they have been laid off a second time, and another 26% of those placed back on payrolls report being told by their employers that they may be laid off again. Look at that. That is a staggering number. 37% of respondents employed by third-party employees, i.e. not self-employed, have been laid off or furloughed at least once. 57% of those initially laid off furloughed reported being put back on payroll sometime after their initial dismissal, but 39% of such respondents say they were put back on payroll yet were not asked to return to actual work. The second round of layoffs are happening in states that have not, this is a critical statistic here, in states that have not been experiencing recent COVID-19 surges relative to those in surging states, which is scary right there because you'd think, oh, it's the states that are surging, but it's even states that haven't been surging.
Mm-hmm.
So the initial shutdown was so catastrophic that a bunch of businesses aren't going to come back. And then the biggest takeaway from the survey is that there is no V-shaped economic recovery, meaning the economy was here, COVID, boom, and then it's going to shoot back up. That's not happening. And in the back half of the year, the Trump administration, Congress, the Trump administration and Congress will need to pass trillions of dollars more in direct payments to tens of millions of broke Americans or face a crash in consumption. Wall Street is ignoring the deep economic scarring from the virus. As we've recently mentioned, permanent job loss now stands at nearly 3 million in June, up from 1.6 million people in February. Gary Shilling, the president of A. Gary Shilling & Co., recently told CNBC that Wall Street has misread the shape of the economic recovery, as he warns a 1930s-style decline in the stock market could be ahead. Ron Placone, your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, hey, this just goes. This is why there are now members of the Fed who, keep in mind, they think of all this, cast aside all the moral components of this, the component that we are a capitalism death cult and it's so morally, repulsive. Just put all of that aside right now and just try to look at it through the lens they look at it from, where we are just all widgets and, we just want to, it's all about the economy, baby. Even they are now saying we'd be better off with another shutdown and the government takes care of people. And then in 6 to 8 weeks, we'll be where we should have been the first time. And then we start to reopen in phases the way other countries are doing. Even they are now saying we should do that, because otherwise we're just going to keep going in these waves where, as you're indicating, these businesses, I think we got this figured out, we're going to be fine. Well, but then the numbers go back up again. They can't stay open. More people lose their jobs. They can't spend money in the economy. The other places can't stay open as a result. We're just going to go in this declining wave because we didn't get it right the first time. And it's to the point where even the Fed and the powers that be are saying, give people money so they can stay afloat and let people stay home till we get the numbers where they need to be to control this thing. But it's not going to frickin' happen.
Well, the other thing too, they have to be looking is like, we shut everything down and we gave people $1,200 and some people got some unemployment. I still know people that didn't get it. I know a lot of people that did, but even the unemployment wasn't this nobody's unemployment was the level of money they were making.
No.
So no one was like, when things open, I'm going to be able to spend it up. Everyone was just like, I'm barely getting by. I'm barely paying my rent. This unemployment is helping. It's keeping me from not paying rent, but I pay rent and buy groceries and have very little left over.
Yeah.
And what is left over, I can't go spend on the handful of businesses that are kind of open. So it's and then God forbid you get COVID and you get some 10, 20, 100,000. I even heard of a guy getting $1 million doctor bill.
Yep.
So we haven't done any, if everybody was told you get free healthcare, everything's paid for, stay home, here's $3,000 a month, and we're suspending rent or whatever it is, pay your rent, but you get $3,000 a month. So, okay, then we can all stay in our rent. So the landlords, because many landlords aren't big businesses, some of them are, but there's a lot of just, small business owners, just somebody bought a rental unit to make some money off of. They're hurting. That revenue stream is, so if everybody was done the right way, we wouldn't be in this. But now we've made it worse from the actual virus side. We haven't curtailed the virus. It's gotten worse from a health standpoint. And then we did it the dumb way on the economic.
Yeah. We've completely screwed ourselves in every way imaginable. We've mismanaged this no matter what lens you look at it from. We've completely screwed it up.
And there's no leadership. We've got whack job Trump, and then we've got this weak Democratic Party that, people like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, they don't want to help us. They don't want to give us Medicare for all. Joe Biden doesn't want to give us Medicare for all. Kamala Harris doesn't want to give us Medicare for all. And the progressives within the party are like Bernie, who I was a big advocate for, obviously, on this show. Now you're just like, he's this centrist quitter that's really good with tweets. So
many of them are.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so many of them are. And that's why it's like, I refuse. I mean, I have been telling people, do not retweet a politician ever. Don't like their tweets. Every tweet a politician puts out, no matter who it is, no matter whether it's Bernie, anyone else, it doesn't matter who it is. It should just be ratioed, where it's just like, what are you doing? I mean, the only exception to that is maybe like local politicians, like a Shama Zuwan or something like that. But people in Congress, people in the Senate, you know, whatever. What could you do with an extra $2,000 a month? Stop placating me. Stop. You know what? I bet the government has a ministry of appeasement we don't know about, where it's just these politicians tweeting these nice things to kind of put you at ease and make you think somebody's fighting for you. They're not. So I'm like, do not retweet them. Do not like their tweets. And you know what? Ever since I've been saying that, I shit you not, some politicians have been unfollowing me on Twitter. Good. Unfrickin' follow me. Good. If you don't see me as a friend, frickin' good. Good.
I don't want the friendship of a politician.
No, I don't either.
I inherently don't trust you. If you're running for one of the two big parties, I don't trust you. I just don't. And if you're running for the first time and you're a big progressive and you're going against a big corporate incumbent, great. I hope you win. But my question is always the same. I'm going to start the clock. When are you going to sell out?
It's one of those things. Like, yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't support different people or I want to see different people win, but you know, you can rest assured I'm going to hold them accountable.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to like give them a pass or whatever. So it's like, yeah, great. If you see me as like an other, where it's like, this guy's an outsider, and if I start messing around, he's not going to be quiet about it. Good. That means I'm doing my job. Yep. If you see me as a buddy that you want me to hold a dinner for you or something. I mean, I don't have that kind of money, so no one's going to ask me that anytime soon. But you know, you want me to have a dinner for you or something, then I screwed up. I did something wrong.
Yeah. I don't want you texting me. I don't want to be your friend.
Yeah. So unfollow me until you're blue in the face. Have fun.
Yeah.
Pun intended, by the way, with the blue part. Go ahead. Unfollow me.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, unless you're like with Movement for a People's Party or Green, or you're an independent, then yeah, let's talk.
Right.
Because you already made a choice that you're already telling me that you're not, you can't reform this utterly corrupt Republican Party from within. You know it's corrupt and you're just done with it. That, you know, Jill Stein's got my phone number. She can have it the rest of her life because she's earned it. But if she was like, Graham, the Democrats, I really are going to turn the corner, I'd be like, oh, Dr. Stein, no. She's fantastic, man. And just watching clips from this, I couldn't watch more than about 70 seconds of clips from this ridiculous convention that has started. That is just like Trump bad, Trump bad. Okay, great. Trump's bad. You won't own any of the things that are the Democrats, the Clintons, Obama, Biden, all of them have allowed Trump to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really making it out like it's a new party with new ideas too, by the way. With like, oh, look at these speakers, the Clintons, the Obamas. Yes. Here's our guy, Joe Biden. New ideas. Wait a second. Here's the kicker. Here's something new. We got 4 Republicans. Not just, I mean, no, I know we have a lot more Republicans but Republicans in name even. We got 4 of those, and AOC gets 60 seconds. How telling is that? The Republicans, there's 4 of them. AOC, 60 seconds.
60 seconds. And then they put Bernie on at the end, and he says his Bernie stuff, and it's like... Yeah, if Trump is so bad, if you were so worried about Trump, why didn't you fight harder? Like, why did you just acquiesce that he was so bad? Like, it's just mystifying to me.
Why didn't you make it clear that Biden couldn't beat him?
Yes.
Why didn't you really just scream it from the Raptors that you want? So look around you, look out. Those are my people. That can beat Trump. This guy in this half-full gymnasium.
I'm selling out stadiums. I'm the guy.
Yeah. I'm the guy. Exactly. I'm the freaking guy.
Joe Biden can't do it. He can't do it. Like I just the further
I just got a standing ovation. This guy just yelled at a Latino activist to go vote for Trump because he asked him a reasonable question. You're going to go with that guy? That guy's going to beat Trump.
I have more individual donors than any politician in the history of politics in America. And that guy just said, listen, fat.
Yeah. I mean, no kidding. And it's like, that's why it's, It's so mind-boggling, dude. And that's why it's like you can easily come to the conclusion that the Democratic Party's first priority is not winning.
Yep. That's their first priority. How do we not win? How do we just corral progressives and people who call themselves lefty or liberals? How do we just corral them and nosedive them and just tell them how bad the Republicans are? It's like,
Yep.
okay, this is what you get, man. So this economic collapse is coming, everybody. And the Democrats, again, I hope Biden wins and Trump is out of office, and then we will see a Democratic Party I hope they win the Senate and the Congress, and then you can see all these Democrats not do a damn thing.
And then you can say, is there an alternative to this? And people can say, yes, there is. It's called Movement for a People's Party.
Yeah, because
it's time.
The thing, like my generation, the Gen Xers, too many of them are dumbass neoliberal vote any blue will do people. They're still, I'm hearing them on social media, friends of mine, say the same crap I've heard for 30 years, Ron. I've heard we're going to pull Joe Biden to the left. Oh my God. You didn't pull Obama to the left. You didn't pull Bill Clinton to the left. Carter was already left, and he had one term because he couldn't rescue the hostages in Iran. LBJ didn't get pulled to the left. JFK was murdered. Truman didn't get pulled to the left. The last guy that was pulled to the left was FDR, who started at the way left.
Yeah, well, he did it voluntarily.
Yeah.
FDR did it voluntarily. He had the foresight to be like, yeah, they're pissed off out there. Rich people, I get it. You like being rich. I don't blame you, but you're going to have to give a little bit, or they're coming in here, and I can't stop them. So, sorry.
He ran all left because he was like, we're all going to get beheaded unless you let me go this hard left.
Yeah. Yeah. And he didn't tolerate BS about it either. He was like, this is what we're doing.
We haven't had a left in the Democratic Party with any kind of power for any sustainable time since the 1930s. Like, when are people going to wake the fuck up?
Since FDR.
Since FDR. My faith is in people your age and younger who are on the street.
Me too.
Who are actively going, I'm a socialist. I'm a democratic socialist. I'm done with this crap. Those are the people who are going to be the quickest to turn. They're on social media, watching shows like this, watching JFK speak in 1962 saying, we need healthcare. We're decades behind Europe. Watching Dr. King socialist speeches, not the dream that we've all heard, which is a fantastic speech, but his talking about socialism. Watching Malcolm X call out, the white liberal is the most dangerous thing out there. Like watching all of this, watching like what Bobby Kennedy, they're seeing all of this going, damn, they're learning about Fred Hampton.
So, and the Zoomers especially, man, they are just badass.
Yeah.
The stuff they're doing on TikTok and the stuff like they are out there. I mean, there was that 16-year-old girl for Jen Perlman that got pushed by Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Oh. Shout out to Jen. I really hope she pulls a victory. The Zoomers are, I mean, I kind of wish as millennial, I mean, I like all generations. All generations have, good folks and bad folks like anything else in the world. But, as a millennial, when I look around at our bench, so to speak, and I see people like Pete Buttigieg and Joe Kennedy, I just think, you know what? What if we skip our turn and just go straight to the Zoomers? What if we're like, we're going to be creatives. We're going to continue to be artists and activists. We'll do that. But on the electoral side, we're just going to let you guys have our turn and you guys just have a longer turn for like a while and then make sure your children are awesome too. What if we do? I mean, we're still doing our part. We're just recognizing that, our bench isn't so great. You guys take over.
Yep.
We'll do other things. Let us know how we can help out otherwise.
I hope so, man. I hope so. Shave your knuckles for justice.
Everybody, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification button and the subscribe button, even if you've done it before, because they're unsubscribing, many of you, every day. Watch the ads all the way through. If you click skip ad, I don't get paid. Also, support us at patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. Rockfin.com is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. All my videos are on Rockfin ad-free. Thanks for watching.